All right, Bernie Drebing, one of the more intriguing and fascinating characters to represent Hadfield across the journey. I think, the fact that your picture frame has been up here, signifies a fair bit about yourself and your football career, and it's a pleasure being able to talk to you.
Thank you.
Now, a little bit about your arrival at Hadfield. It was 1973, and you arrived with the coach at the time, who was Eddie Benson. Now,
Eddie Bryant, yeah.
Eddie Bryant, sorry.
Yeah.
What I find fascinating, and a lot of people who are my age wouldn't quite understand, is in those days, if you wanted to cross clubs and be cleared, you actually had to sit out of football for a while.
Well, I didn't quite sit out. I'll explain. They had a different system with clearances on it. I came from the Covid Boys UW with the coach and a couple of other players. I won first year open age, one of the best of first. We had to go to the YCO competition. Of course, they're not going to knock back. There's a few other players going to come. And then we had to go to the higher body, whatever it was on there. And then they knocked back. Then we had to go wait for a while. We had to go back to the YCO and then go back through. It was a different system than what it was today. And
the fax machines didn't work too quick.
Oh, I don't think they had faxes in those days. But there's people like Ian Steele and Bill Armstead. They spent a lot of time on there because I was going to uni at that stage. And I think about 2/3, a little bit longer, I got a clearance on there. And I think at that stage I contacted Tonsillitis, so I eventually got...
Kissing too many girls.
But anyhow, I got a game on there, near the end on there. There's Moody Imps up there, the old Marinon Park. But I was fascinated there because when I came there, we had a tin shed. Most of the guys were just drinking up there, and really, I was a university student. They had juniors, they had a club room, the fence on there, and it was like a club thing. It was a different time in those days.
Well, tell us about your first impressions of Reddish Reserve.
Well, Reddish Reserve, they had a fence on there, they had a club room. They used to have a boxing ring in there, I think the youth club on there. But the people of my age group, they juniors, so we got on well on there. It was a different bit of the old style of football before the new one, but they were people my age, where the other guys were with the Washington, they was toughest nails on it. You would have lost it, and then drinking, and it wasn't me on there.
So obviously, in sort of an instant...
People my age group, it was people, young guys having a go in there, then,
Well, it was an instant love with the club because you hung around for 27 years as a senior player, over 400 games. But I want to touch on quickly to 1978. You were crowned the EDFL Best and Fairest in B grade. Do you put that down as your best ever year of football as a player?
I was probably prime on there because later on they're getting older. But we were in B grade on there. In those days, I think there was they're doing the vote, go to the SM footy groups. Okay. And you go down there and they had a sort of vote thing, and next thing I was really surprised. I wanted on there, and then I think very much a year later on there, we went up to A grade. I was a little bit older on there, and they all knew me anyhow because I think I was one of the few that played in the combined side there from B grade, so they knew me anyhow. So, but it was I didn't imagine. I knew what I achieved. I didn't play for glory. I just played for the love. I had a passion to play there,
And that rolled into 1979 when you were part of the premiership down at Hadfield. Talk to us a little bit about a few of your memories from 1979.
Well, prior to that, I think the 4 years before that, I think 3 of them we lost the grand final. It was 1 year on there, we were going really well, and I was probably at my prime on it. Might have been that year, and we were playing down one of the semi-finals at Avondale Heights. The reserves played next week. The ground collapsed at half time on there. A big sinkhole on.
Is that Avondale Heights?
Yeah,
Avondale Heights.
The reserves. I think they might have been front. No, I thought, wouldn't you still play? It was a big sinkhole. You couldn't even stand in there. You wouldn't have seen me. That got called up. Next week, I got sick as a dog. I think we were playing Brunswick City on there. I wasn't performed too well, and they gave us a flogging. But then we lost. We lost that many bloody grand finals on there, and then we were successful that year, I think, with Alan Dalton on there. So.
And the photo is there behind us of that team. Looking at that photo now, does it bring back some memories of a few of the guys?
Yeah, there's quite a few guys that came from Brunswick. At that stage, we were trained out, and there was that many numbers on there. You had to keep the spot in there. So, and Strathmore, the side came down A grade successful, and we managed to beat them on there. As a matter of fact, that year Strathmore they were second. They actually got promoted to A grade too. They changed the format. So.
Peter Guest.
And you remember all the players, your friends, you all win things on there. I didn't play in sort of the juniors, so it was, you know,
Yeah.
probably the first time we're going back to drink. I can't remember the next 3 days. I said, well, wife, you won't see me.
I could
The
imagine.
next one comes, I'll take it easy.
So let's move through to the 80s now, and in 1987, you were the senior coach. How did all that come about?
The year before we lost, oh God, everybody sort of left. I don't think I'd even a player in the side that even won a second best for us. The lost them, they went anywhere, some went overseas, and you know, we had to promote some kids and just do the best. I think we won about 3 or 4 games. We managed to stay in B grade on there, but I remember Pete Whittle, he come back from overseas. I said, we're going that bad on there, Pete, just put the boots on. He said, being overseas, look, you can do better than us, but you know, we just lost everything. Players that went overseas, different clubs, so.
Well, you must have built a decent foundation, because only 3 years later, in 1989, at 36 years of age, you were able to hang around long enough and play in a second premiership 10 years apart. It's a fair effort. You must look back with some
No,
great
actually,
memories
I
of that
remember
achievement.
some of the young kids. As a matter of fact, I remember Punky, come from Cooloroo, played under age, and a couple of other guys. And I always thought Punky would tell us. I said, no, Punky, you've got to build it. You got some in there. So we put him in some of the centre row. You know, he proved he's a very, you know, very skillful player, hard working on there. So, you know, I could see the guys that just threw him in there, give him a chance on there. You know, so.
And what?
And which I was part of really coaching at our level on there, is getting some guys see. I could always see something in there and say, yeah, come, will you get in there? Just go in there. And Punky was one of them. There's a few others I can't remember.
Talk to me about a couple of them. You had Robbie Don, Steph Knack,
Steph
a few of the younger guys.
Okay, yeah.
Brian Delaney.
Well, Steph, for example, he was always a hard trainer and he had skills on there, so, you know, he was always fair dinkum on there, so you could play him anyway, you know, regardless, he always gives best, you know. There's Robbie Don on there, we gave him a few chances on there, and I mean, name some of the other players, I'm just going with the sides. I mean, they knew.
It's the 79 one, you're probably not going to name any
No.
from there, but
Punky probably, there was a lot of young ones. I think there was also Chris Maltesers, he always had speed, he was always fair dinkum, but he was sort of played in the centre, but
Gary Marshall.
oh, Gary Marshall too, he was trained home. I mean, I remember Chris Maltese, he was fair dinkum, him playing for cricket, but he was no good in the city, he just ran straight, he didn't have duck and weed, so we had to put him in the back line, he just ran straight through.
What about that player that had a bone in his foot?
Sorry?
Nick Saladino.
Oh, Nick Saladino, he was yeah, that's right, Chris Maltese. Nick, he was a solid player, he gave it all, he was trained, so there's another guy. Oh, one of the guys who give it all on there, and Nick was one of them too. I mean, I know some people had different ability, but I knew which guys, no matter how they played, I knew it in it. They gave it their best on it. Some I sort of questioned where they put that, but I knew, everyone knew if they didn't have a good day, it wasn't because of lack of heart and having a go. Yeah, we all have our, off days, so.
and it must be great to still see some of those guys when you come back to
Well,
the club
I
each
look
year.
them back playing so long, and then seeing the guys that come through and stuck through, and then they made a name for themselves on there. Punky on there, Chris Maltese, Nick Saladino was always feeding him, and then of course I remember Pete Whittle on there helping the under 15s. So there's a few guys he'd come along. I was fortunate to have Peter Whittle as my second good rover on there. So there's a couple other guys, but you got to train and have a go. As football started to get very serious and had to train, there's probably a few other players on there.
Well, as we move into the 90s, you hung around long enough to play in the reserves, and you actually won a best in comp in A reserves in 1994, and then a reserves premiership in B grade in 1997. Did you just love playing footy, or
I
what was
love
it that made
football. I
you
mean,
keep
I had a
playing?
high professional job on there, and in a day, I loved it. I mean, later on, once I finished university at 24, I got on the committee with football. I remember getting things done. I remember recruiting kids, and then later on, I was playing cricket with West Breath and Mess, and I thought, they got club is, I was married, I had a girlfriend then at that stage, so took the whole lot, and I'm on top. If I'm in, I'll get involved. I mean, I know how to do it, but if I'm involved, I knew I could do things. This business saying try and do things. I said, I remember the footy club, they didn't have, we got a beer table, so I'll organise that. I'll recruit the kids. I said, if I'm going to do that, I'm involved. I'm going to make this place better. So yeah. And also with the kids on there, and I knew that you've got to have juniors on there. You could have juniors on there, right? So I think Hadfield pretty good. I know was connected with the boundary of the cemetery. We had that side. We had a few clubs around the area. So getting juniors and then getting a football cricket on there. So
No, it's definitely a big career that you had and a long-lasting legacy, no doubt. Just to see, your photo in the 79 premiership and then also in the 89 and to be able to hang around and
Yeah, it was a
play
family
reserves as well.
club, football and cricket on there, and in the day, I played for love, I didn't play for money, and in the day, I said, I was dead serious on there, we didn't want to beat there. And we had a lot of guys that were known as a family club. There's a few other players that were older and respected, so we kept the young guys, on toe, they were pretty good. We were respected in the league as a family club on there, and that's what I'm proud of.
And you retired to the nightclub and rock and roll scene in the 1990s. 1999 was your last year. You're into astrology and all that sort of stuff. I know you're a big star sign man. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've always been interested. But actually later on there, when I was playing the second side there, there's a few sort of players you can, work with them. I knew they were going to watch me like a hawk, and we were sort of successful. I think one year we lost it on there, and then we were playing Drebing Stars undefeated, and we beat them. And I can't remember the year stopped. I think I come down there, pre-season. I mean, we didn't have much. They all left. That's what all the second players were playing the seas. And oh God, they're going to watch me. I thought, it's enough's enough. So,
Enough.
and they're good to get another premiership out of the second side there. And that was a tie against Drebing Stars undefeated there. So.
Nice one. Well, Bernie, you're definitely a cult figure down at Hadfield and one of our greatest players. So it's been a pleasure talking. Do you have a last message for anyone thinking you come to the 50-year ball? on
I'll
July
say,
10?
whatever you do, give it your best shot on there. You make friends. Not everyone's got the same ability. I got more out of the club than I got in. I probably more since I've retired. I've actually realised what I've achieved on there. I mean, when you're playing, you don't think of those things. I'm not the one to scout about. I don't talk about. But probably the other thing is there that a lot of players on there, we play for the love of it on there, and we had respect from other people. We weren't thugs or anything like that. Some players didn't get on with those. So most of the guys on there, I'd say that were family orientated, trying to do a good thing. And I like seeing people achieve something through sport, become better people in life. That's what I'm about.
Well, Bernie, I think the fact that the best and fairest is named after you says enough. So thanks for tonight.
Thank
hope
you.
to see you at the 50-year ball.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for the football and cricket club, especially football club, what they achieved. And I'm glad I'm part of the 50-year celebration.